Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Picture This, the Best Picture Movie Review Show, hosted. Well, technically today I'm in bed, so let's just call it. We're in bed together. My name is Alex. Hopefully, you knew that before getting into bed with me. And today, hopefully, is not last week. With me to ring in the bells, it's Jack Pinchuk.
What the fuck was that intro?
Also joining us in bed is the flawless rose, Matthew Chen.
If you want, I can get in bed with you.
Yeah.
I have my blanket here, so I'm kind of in bed.
Here to hunt down Nazis is Adelaide Spence.
We come to this place for magic. We come to Alex Martinez Coronado Theaters to laugh.
To cry.
At what point
To
did
care.
you mute Adelaide Spence? And here to smack you on the ass for finding a Nazi, it's Caleb Coe.
I've been in bed with Alex many times, if you know what I mean.
It's true. We got drunk together recently.
We got drunk together. It was a great time.
Hey everybody, we watched a movie that wasn't the one that we watched last week, so hopefully there will be less arguments. No arguments.
We get Spence to stop. I'm like uncomfortable. I just hear
when did we
Is
mute
this
Spence?
better? Is this
At
better?
what point?
Heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
In my bed? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby.
Backs.
It's not really where I'm used to breaking people's hearts, but you know what? I'm willing to try new things. We watched a movie. It was called Mrs. Miniver. I didn't hate it. I don't think I'm worried because we didn't really talk. We didn't watch this one together. So I don't know where anybody sits on it. I think I have a tentative ally in Jack, who I sent my star ratings to. You know what? Let's get the dynamics out of the way. Let's get the dynamics before we go to Caleb Goho.
Alex?
Before we get to that, let's just get some dynamics going here. Let's get some vibe checks. Star ratings. We're gonna start with Matthew Chen. Let's see where did Matthew land on?
I gave it a 3.5 stars.
Okay. All right. We're going to go now for no particular reason to Adelaide.
3.
All right. A little lower. We're going to go now to me. Boop. 3.5. All right. No one's mad yet. We're going to go now to Jack.
Highest rating of the week.
Oh, dear. Okay.
I
That's not...
I thought it was going to be worse.
I also thought it was going to be... I thought we were going to be like 5 stars. I loved it. And I think we're ready for the Plot Boy segment. I don't think we have any... I think that's it.
Wait, no. What Kelsey?
3.5,
Oh, okay.
baby.
Bro,
Sure.
okay.
Oh, this is going to be like a nice
It is
episode.
a
This is a very relaxed episode.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery.
Boring. I need to scream at someone.
This is going to be a great time where we're going to sit here and be like, hey, now after 4 or 5 weeks of just using Jack as the fucking whipping post of our anger, we get to redirect all of it back on the person that we started with, Adelaide Spence. So now,
James
Spence,
is
you
dog
get to be the
shit.
one that gets
No one should
absolutely
like
crucified.
wings.
You're about to get
Wings.
crucified
This
again,
is
bitch.
Fine.
But Coho, what's the plot of the movie?
Well,
What?
guess what? I'm gonna fucking tell you because this had
Oh,
more of a
snap.
plot than How Green Was My Fucking Valley. Mrs. Miniver, we're going back to the years of the days when the Nazis roamed the earth freely, a time where Canada was very happy. So, specifically Edmonton. Anyway, Kay Miniver and her family live a very, very cushy cavalcade-esque life. The first couple minutes of this movie make me a little bored and concerned for the direction. And guess what? We saved that shit as soon as they pick up the motherfucking boy, and he comes in spitting fire about respect for the common man. College has made him a commie, ladies and gents and Spence. I just fast forwarded through the opening 10 minutes because the opening 10 minutes is just like, hey, here's the cook, and here's Walter Pidgeon and Greer Garson and all the people we don't give a shit. Anyway, The son goes back to university, spouting off like, good for the common man, and like all the rich need to be eaten and shit like that.
While being rich, he
being
says
rich.
that.
And that's when Carol Belden, Academy Award winner Teresa Wright, comes in and goes, "Bitch, you're rich." And bitch slaps him verbally to the point where he storms off like a little pussy. And that's where we get this movie going. So, her grandmama, played by Dame May Woody. Yes. Also Academy Award nominated for performance in this movie. They live right down the road. They're also rich. Oh, well. Too many rich people. Anyway, as all conflicting opposites attract and they fuck and they get together. I lost where we were. That's where we are. Idealism and altruism fucking. So he goes, "I gotta do my part," and he enlists in the Royal Air Force, where Ewan McGregor's bro fights alongside them as OB2. Fun fact. Anyway. Yes, he does. Ewan McGregor's brother's call sign is OB2. Anyway.
Crickets.
What?
Crickets for that.
Fuck you. I don't give a shit about you. June's over. I don't have to care about your feelings anymore. All right, so we're gonna move on. To he does some shit. And then Dunkirk happens. Shit happens and then Dunkirk.
Seamless transition.
Shit happens, Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan beaten off in the background to the idea of
the
white
most
people
cavalcade
war.
moment.
Mid.
The most cavalcade moment this movie
It
has
was.
is when
He's like, I gotta go help. Let me get in my boat, the Starling. Where are you going? Dunkirk. It was
guys,
a
some
weird
people
transition.
are pinned down. Where are we going?
Dunkirk. It's a weird moment. Anyway, she can't sleep.
Fuck is happening?
Anyway, Greer Garson can't sleep. She goes downstairs, and there's a fucking Nazi in her living room, folks. He's hurt. He's chilling in the garden. Pulls out a gun. And he's like, "You're gonna take care of me and fix me." And they have a very aggressive conversation about Hitler and who's gonna win the war. And then she feeds him, which I was like, okay, just kill him. Kill the Nazi. But I guess, she has compassion, which none of us do. And she takes the gun from him, calls the cops. Clem comes home from, helping in that 2017 Best Picture nominee, Dunkirk. And then fucking Dame May Whitey, I think her character's name is actually Lady Belden, but she shows up and she's like, "Hey, Vin can't marry Carol." And you're like, "Where'd this convo come from? The hell have you been, you old hag?" And she comes in like, "Well, we got to get her done because my granddaughter Carol is 18." And Kay's like, "You were like 16 when you got married." And she was like, "You know what? Fine. Good point. Checkmate. You got me." And then Vin and Carol get married. Carol now becomes Mrs. Miniver. So if you're wondering who does the title refer to, the answer is two different characters and
a flower
and a plant. There you go. Roll credits. So they go to Scotland to honeymoon, which I feel like would be the most irritating honeymoon place ever. You got so many people just, in kilts and bagpipes yelling at you in very aggressive accents.
This podcast is pro kill. I'm gonna stand by that.
You're pro kill?
Pro kills. Well, pro kill.
Pro kill when it's killing Nazis. We got a whole list for that.
Hell yeah.
Hit the song!
Yeah.
They don't.
Jax.
Who has the Killing Nazi song?
Jack.
Welcome to Killing Nazi, the podcast within a podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Coho, and today we are going to rank where this fits on the list of murdering Nazis. And she didn't kill the Nazi, so I think that makes her an anti-Semite. Thoughts?
One of the characters does kill Nazis, so that we just never see it.
We don't see.
I
the
mean,
Nazis.
characters kill Nazis, but we don't hear about it or see it. The character that we do see on screen has the chance to shoot a Nazi. Instead, she gives him food and a place to sleep and heals his wounds.
She does also call the police on him.
Call the police.
I mean, she calls the police, but she doesn't kill the Nazi.
I mean, she doesn't kill the Nazi at the
I mean,
time.
maybe
Here's the thing:
Gun on
it's
her.
1940s. The police probably killed the Nazi. They kill most people, so it's like it's still like.
Why does that have to be 1940?
Yeah, fair. The police were called the Nazis dead. Let's be honest here. He died eventually. This movie's still pretty low, but like not as low as
I put this. Hold on, bring up the list for killing Nazis.
There are 3 movies on it.
I think that this goes below Gone with the Wind because the Nazis that were killed in Gone with the Wind are seen being murdered.
Are there Nazis in Gone with the Wind?
I would
I mean,
agree.
they're Confederates.
All racists are Nazis, Spence.
You know what? Fair. Yeah, I'll put it at 3.
Sure.
Yeah,
There you go.
I agree.
With that, Mrs. Miniver is last place on killing Nazis. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Jack at the song.
What?
All right, so back to the plot. Oh yeah, Vin probably died in action. That's what happened. He probably got his ass blown up over Dunkirk. Not Dunkirk, but he got blown up somewhere. Maybe he's Tom Hardy in Dunkirk. Full circle. Kay and them are hanging out during an air
Down the
raid.
street.
They're reading Alice in Wonderland. They all hide while they're getting blown up. And then at that place, I didn't mention even at the beginning, fucking old man who was nominated for an Oscar for this was like, I want to name my flower after you, which I thought was really fucking creepy, but oh well. She's married, dude. And then she that flower won. I think it won. I think that flower won.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah, it won. Oh no, it came second place.
No, Mrs. Miniver won because she
Well, who
doesn't
came
choose
second
her own
place then?
flower.
Thank you, Bar.
Oh.
Second place is her own Lady Belden's flower. She chooses that.
It's
You're
the
right.
first year where it lost for some fucking reason.
Fair.
There's nobody entered or against her.
Anyway, they're watching a dogfight happen. Carol got shot by one of the planes, and she dies in the house. And I was like, "Damn, movie, you're gonna make me cry over this random death in the movie." Plane crashes. Kay is broken up. Vin comes home. He finds out that his wife is dead. Dramatic irony. And then they give the sermon, and this is one of the best movie monologues ever. This is a phenomenal speech that is given here in the sermon. I thought it was excellent. And then everyone sings Onward, Christian Soldiers, and it shows more war fighting. And then it plays Pomp and Circumstance, and then fighters do the V for Victory formation, and that's it. That's Mrs. Miniver.
Okay, great. Thanks for that charming, mostly accurate recounting of a movie that is fine, probably totally skippable. It's not. When you put it like that, I almost want to drop it by like 2 stars. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're all friends here. We're all friends here. Nah. Okay, let's relax. The
Listen,
point.
you even insinuate that I have to do math again. I'm gonna be upset.
It's a minute.
I'll drop it rating 2 stars. Anyone else? Come on.
No, it's like a movie. It's like an accurate. It's like pretty blatant.
I thought it was a
propaganda.
sweet movie.
Yeah, it's like pretty blatant
Why?
propaganda. I love the part at the end after the V start flying where they're like, "You can buy war bonds." I thought that was
Bar. No.
Yes,
the
Bar.
answer is no.
No, Bar it is. That monologue is great.
That monologue is
The monologue. I think it's worth watching.
Genuinely,
It takes a while to
just-
get going. but-
This is an inverse Gone with the Wind. The first half is really fucking boring and does nothing for me. Second half, it's decent. It's not bad. If you take Gone with the Wind's first half and this movie's second half, great fucking movie. genuinely great. movie.
Wait, that makes no sense because the movie would make no sense. Halfway through, it's World War II, black and white, has different people in it.
Fuck you. You know what I'm saying. The first half of this movie is like real bad. I was edging on like a 2, maybe 1.5. And then it picked up a little bit. It kept getting better. And then like literally that scene where like she finds the Nazi, best scene in the movie. It's fucking.
Oh, it's great.
And it's written really well. I'm like, okay. And then I got like reinvested because that scene just fucking way better than everything else. And I think if you cut that scene, I am like not into this movie because I don't have like that kickstart to get into it. I think like the when they're hiding in their bunker at the end, really great. I wouldn't have given a fuck if you don't have that first scene there.
But I think here's what I'll say. I think that the reason why the second half works is because the first half does a great job of making me care about Mrs. Miniver. Like I care a lot about Greer Garson because of the first half, and like while the rest of the characters and
I think Carol and Ben also.
Both Mrs. Minivers. We'll put it that way. The two Mrs. Minivers are the stars of the first half, and I only care. And then they get a lot more to do in the second half. But in the first half, they give me everything I need to know about them. I care a lot about them. I actually care a lot about Vin. I think Vin is really well done in the first half. I don't think Walter Pidgeon's like great in this movie. I don't really know why we nominated him, but like he's like fine. He's good at like the very end. But like I think the first half is not flashy like the second, but it's important so that the second half hits. The first half is like you have to have the first half to get to the second half. I think the first half's pretty good.
I think the only moment in the second half that doesn't quite work is the rose competition.
Yeah,
it's fine. Like I still take that over anything in the first half.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
Kind of slows
I
down.
think
Slows it down a
yeah,
little.
I think the like the coolest part of the first half is actually when you first meet the second Mrs. Miniver.
yeah.
And
When Vin and Mrs. Miniver meet.
When you first meet Carol, and she's like absolutely verbally smacks this dude down.
Yeah.
About like the rich should be doing more, and she's like, "What are you doing? You
So
just
what are you
sitting
doing?
at home right now? Is that what you're doing right now?"
Dogs his ass out. I loved it.
So much so that he has to retreat completely. He has to haul.
He like leaves the conversation.
And he's like, he's upset at me. And his family has to be like, he'd be all right. I think like there's some like really good like chemistry between the two couples, like the parent couple and the Vin and Carol. I think there's some like solid chemistry there when they meet. He sends her the note. It's so cute. These two are so cute. He sends her a note. Hey, could you please come outside? And she's like, all right, sure. And then they like, you can see them falling in love. It's actually, it's from like a weird romantic perspective. It's like kind of cute. I feel like this is all leading to our standout performer, which I'm worried because I don't think we all have the same one.
Oh, I know who mine
We
is.
do.
Mine's pretty clear.
I know who mine is.
I have mine.
All right, Jack, throw someone's on the board randomly.
Okay.
Hey, it's Bar. No, Bart.
William Wyler's direction is also really good.
William Wyler, I understand why he won. I don't give him the Oscar, but I think he did it well.
You know what? Let's go with this person first.
Easy win. Easy.
Oh no, she's not my pick.
She's not my
What?
pick. She's not my pick at all.
I think she's a great Oscar win. Good job. I think
She's
great.
one of two great performances. Everyone else is fine.
Let me guess.
There's one
Coco.
performance in this movie that I think
your
is better. Teresa
That's my
Wright
pick.
is the
Yeah.
best performance in the movie. I think she is
right.
better than Greer Garson. I think she absolutely deserves that Oscar for supporting actress. I think she's fantastic. I think she's better than Greer in every scene that they're in together. Like, I think that Teresa Wright is my stand-up performer with a bullet. Like, I love Greer Garson in this too,
So
but like,
close
Yeah, she's
for me.
my absolutely number one.
Mhm.
It is so close for me. I kind of expected Greer Garson to be my stand-up performer, but like the more I think about the movie, the more I love Teresa Wright in it. I think she's phenomenal.
Mhm.
Other than in like two scenes, she just feels very like copy and paste a lot of other characters we've seen in other films. Like she doesn't feel special. I think Greer Garson is like really great in dealing with a lot. I'll also say again, I wouldn't nominate him, but I will say very close second is actually Helmut Danton, who is the Nazi. I think like his like anger is like he's amazing in his one scene. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough. But like again, I think that Greer Garson is like.
I mean, for a character that has
miles
like
better
one
than
scene,
us.
he's like fine.
Yeah.
There's some like really like well.
When we do
like,
1942 Cole Hoskers, he's my nominee for best cameo.
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
Good stuff.
So
We'll
it
get
sounds
there
like-
in 2028.
So
sounds like
I'll bring
we-
up the standout performers.
Bring up the list.
And we
Yeah,
can
I
see
just
where
think she's
Teresa
like
Wright lands.
and they frame her really beautifully in like a bunch of scenes. They like Jean Arthur in like the movies we've reviewed her in.
Yeah.
Where it's just like a solo shot of her face and she's like angled off.
Well,
and
no,
they, like,
actually-
lit her.
Actually, to back you up, she is doing the Jean Arthur part that Jean Arthur would do in all the
Oh,
other
100%.
ones. But
No,
she's
yeah.
given a actual fully realized human to play. It's like the Jean Arthur role from like Mr. Smith and You Can't Take It With You, but like written by someone who like understands women. Like, and not to say the Jean Arthur characters
Someone
aren't great.
who met a woman one time and kind of knew her really well.
Sure. Like
Yeah.
the thing is, like, that's not to say Jean Arthur's roles aren't great because I think she's great in every movie she's been in with Capra, and Capra does a great job with like Jean Arthur. But like, I think this role takes the archetype and then just like smashes it with a hammer and like rebuilds the idea of what that archetype is. I think it's like a actually really well constructed character and performance.
I would agree. Where are we putting Teresa Wright?
I would say
Can we
at
just
at the very least, I would start at number 5 by Claudette Colbert.
No, fuck
Yeah.
that. Fuck that.
Absolutely.
She
I
is
would-
not better than Paul Mooney.
I have
Oh,
it about
I don't know about that.
I have it about
Without
six.
a contest, she's better than Paul Mooney.
I don't know about that. I would
I
definitely
think she
have her
goes
above
above
Paul Mooney.
Claudette Colbert.
Okay, hold on. Let's just do this. Let's do this faster and easier. Who would put Teresa Wright above Paul Mooney? Raise your hand.
I definitely would.
All right, above Paul Mooney. Above Joan Fontaine and Rebecca, raise your hand.
Yeah.
All right. Above Claudette Colbert and It Happened One Night, raise your hand.
Oh come on.
Okay, so,
Go
stops
fuck
at number, so
yourself.
she's at number 6.
That's where I would put it.
Happen One Night is so it is like falling slowly through the weeks, and it's so upsetting. That movie is so much better than we've given any right to be.
Oh, that movie's
Who?
fantastic.
That's why I don't put it
Happen
above
Night.
Claudette Colbert.
Claudette Colbert should be like number 3 on this list, but
No, yeah, she should be. She fucking should be.
Wait, what? Who do we? Number 1, number 2, number 3. No,
like, she doesn't go above You Can't Take It With Your Mutiny, but she goes above Grand Hotel and Gone with the Wind easily.
I'd put her above Can't Take It With You.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I get it.
I'd put her
Well,
number
let's
one.
change our.
well, that's enough for this segment of this
Update
one.
it.
Real shame about that ranking system, but we have a new number 6. Congrats, Teresa, who's probably dead, actually.
Very, very much dead. Very much dead.
Who?
Wait, I say that, but Angela Lansbury's still kicking around, and she got her first Oscar nomination like 2 years from now.
Yeah, let me just Teresa.
Yeah, Angela Lansbury's first Oscar nomination comes in 1945.
No, I thought you were saying, oh yeah, Angela Lansbury's first Oscar nomination is going to be in 2024. Like, what the
Oh,
fucking
no,
time
no.
travel?
I'm saying,
what?
no, I was saying like she's 96 years old, and her first Oscar nomination ever comes 2 years from. Is going to come up in like 2 weeks. So like,
Oh snap! Sorry about
I
that
know.
heart attack. But I hope you really liked Connecticut. Everyone
what?
should go before. Everyone should go before they die, unless they live there. Then they should leave. So we're gonna move on to a different segment. What? Just Jack, bring up a random list. What are we?
no.
what- Oh, come on.
Let's hit the podcast on a podcast. Spence,
no.
hit the song. Welcome to How Gay Is My Valley, the podcast on the podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Coe, and today we are ranking how exactly gay is the movie Mrs. Miniver. And let me tell you, not at all.
No,
Not really.
This movie's not
Zero.
gay whatsoever.
zero.
That's kind of a bummer. Not gay whatsoever. Bring up that list, Jack.
More like Mrs. Min in her. Ayo.
It's aggressively
that.
hetero.
There we go.
Aggressively
We're-
hetero.
we're
Aggressively
saying-
hetero.
We're
I'd actually
saying-
put this bottom of the
okay.
list, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Stay here. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Miniver is the new last place in How Gay Is My Valley.
Good work.
It's not like homophobic or anything. It's just
Yeah, it's not-
very straight.
It's like
Very straight.
our bottom 3 are all like bottom 4 are all like pretty straight.
Yeah. It's well.
Yeah,
The thing is,
like, there's
Anything
it's
it's number on.
2 rich breeding couples, so it's they're Here's
Here's the thing. I wouldn't describe any of the
Fucking
movies that we
breeders.
have on here. there's only 4 movies we have on this list that I would describe as being, at the very least, pretty gay. It's Grand Hotel through Wings. They're the only ones that I'm like, these are pretty gay.
Rebecca's like gay.
Rebecca's pretty gay.
Rebecca's not that gay.
I need more subtext, but like
Rebecca has a scene where a
we
woman
started
goes,
so
and this
strong.
is
down a house.
We started this so gay.
We did. We started so
happened?
strong on this podcast.
You
And
know
are
what,
we
though?
going to be sitting here?
Next week is a new number 5. I promise you.
Okay. I was like, are we going to be sitting here till like 2020, like till 2002, and we get to Chicago and we're friend like, finally, some gayness in our Best Picture winners again. It's going to be like
Any
fucking a
musical
whole ass year
is
before
gonna
we
be
get a
towards the
good
top,
Davis
Como.
Valley rankings.
We're not gonna wait too long. We're gonna wait like 20.
We're honestly somewhere in the 60s. We're gonna break down and start going. This one was gay, right?
I
was
agree with
gay.
you,
Correctly placing that.
Now you know what it's like for the gay.
All right. Now we're out.
And
of
that's
the
why they called them the good old days.
podcast.
Jack.
we also have another podcast in the podcast.
Oh.
Just get out of the way. Matthew, hit that song for me.
Asian.
Welcome to $1 Million Racist, the podcast of the podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Coho. And what we are dealing with today is aggressive white person syndrome. I have no fucking idea where to rank this. The most racist. Actually, I have an opinion. My opinion is she didn't kill the Nazi. Therefore, anti-Semite. Bottom of the list, super racist. Fuck them.
I actually agree, but it wouldn't be top.
All right,
the
let's
list.
bring up the list and see if any more reasonable people run this show.
Here's it. It's at least number 5. At least number 5.
At least number 5, yeah.
No,
I mean, there is a racism.
I don't know. Zola's pretty racist.
There is a racism in this movie, so I think we can definitely go. I mean, I'm gonna lose the battle about whether or not it's above Mutiny on the Bounty. So let's start there.
It's not.
There is a blackface in the Broadway Melody.
You know what?
So I
That's
guess
right.
we really have to start with: is it
Wait,
more
was
racist?
there? Wait, was there?
Was
No, there
I thought
wasn't.
the first-
No,
the first
I'm
best.
thinking of
Greg
Ziegfeld.
Ziegfeld is the first.
Okay,
best
so let's do
picture
this.
winner
Let's
of
do this. Let's do this. Is Mrs. Miniver more racist than the Broadway Melody? Show of hands. That's 2, and I'm gonna make 3.
Oh, fuck you.
Is it more racist than the Life of Emile Zola?
Okay, stops there.
Look at that,
Wait.
3.
Go!
No. Get back here. And is it more racist than Not Quiet on the Western Front? Hey!
Keep it going.
And is it more racist than Cavalcade?
No.
I'm uncomfortable at this specific point in
It is
time.
not.
Actually, no, it's not. Actually, no, I retract my vote. It's not.
I don't remember Cavalcade.
Cavalcade
like, at all.
has. I forgot about the entire beginning of Cavalcade where they go fight a war in Africa.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm gonna,
I forgot.
I'm gonna stay
Number
right
5.
here. Congratulations, Mrs. Miniver, our new number 5 most racist movie we've seen.
I
for
love
this
that
show.
someone's gonna
so
watch this
far.
and go, Mrs. Miniver's not racist. So we're gonna go, yeah, but it's white and she didn't kill a Nazi, so it's number 5.
Not my problem.
Let it be known that I didn't vote it this high.
My apologies to William Bibbiani, probably. All right, so we're gonna keep moving on here with something else. Jack, just pull up a list.
What podcast? Oh, do we have any more podcasts in the podcast?
I
Oh, we
think
do.
have-
Sorry,
is it
I have
better
another
than-
podcast and a podcast to bring up.
Here.
Let's have Alex do the song.
Hey, you got to tell me what the podcast is before I do the song, fam.
It's the one with the guy who hits the thing and wears jersey and it pissed off Jack.
No, Bar, I'm
Jack,
so
play the clip.
nervous.
Jack, play the clip.
Why?
Jack,
What have
play
you
the clip.
done?
Alex hit the song.
Jack,
I
play the
did
clip.
just hit the song. That's literally the song. Is me going.
Oh,
Bar,
excellent.
no, what have you
Welcome
done?
back to the podcast of the podcast. Who's the bigger bitch, Mrs. Miniver or Wayne Gretzky? Mrs. Miniver or Wayne Gretzky? The
Yo,
answer.
she took down that Nazi.
No,
she
no.
absolutely.
Wait, it's
took down
fucking
that
Mrs.
Nazi.
Miniver.
Bring
She's
him
the
back.
bigger bitch this
You
week.
bring
Remember
him back.
what I told you last week.
Mrs. Miniver is way
This is
worse.
not a recurring
Genuinely.
podcast.
Wayne Gretzky is a
Genuinely
bigger
worse.
bitch than the person.
This is not a recurring part
Will
of the
anyone
show.
agree? Will
I condemn
anyone
this
agree
part of
Mrs.
the show.
Miniver is
Let me
worse
finish my statement. Wayne Gretzky is the bigger bitch than Mrs. Miniver because Mrs. Miniver literally took down a Nazi without actually doing anything.
without firing a shot.
Yeah,
I don't
and Wayne
condemn-
Gretzky couldn't throw a punch in hockey.
I condemn this part of the episode, and we're gonna move on.
Sorry, we have one more. We have one more that I was actually gonna do slash
Okay.
this. Remember?
Yeah.
What's the one that we were gonna say?
You're starting a
Oh, yeah, here it is.
show every week.
Spence, hit me with that Danger Zone theme song.
Oh right, that's right.
We actually still have to rank this one.
Spence, Danger Zone. Matthew, Danger Zone. Danger Zone. There we go. Welcome to the podcast within a podcast. Is Mrs. Miniver better than Top Gun Maverick? This is the podcast within a podcast. Is it better than Top Gun Maverick? So far, the answer to every Best Picture nominee and winner, the answer's been no. Top Gun Maverick has been better than everything that has won Best Picture so far. So that means today we ask Top Gun Maverick, is it better than Mrs. Miniver? Raise your hand if you think Top Gun Maverick is better than Mrs. Miniver. There we go. Top Gun Maverick still undefeated against Best Picture winners. Top Gun Maverick still the best movie over everything that wins Best Picture.
After we do our Best Picture ranking, because this is our Best Picture ranking.
If
So-
I'm curious, if like the Wizard of Oz had won, and I'm gonna be
I love
honest,
that
I
we're putting
haven't
Top
seen-
Gun Maverick on the actual ranking.
I haven't. Yeah, that's the bit. So I have a question. I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, so I don't know if I should be voting, but I am. I'm just imagining how good Top Gun Maverick is. If like the Wizard of Oz had won, would that be better than Top Gun Maverick?
Yes, it would. I would say Wizard of Oz,
I would
Wizard
put
of
it
Oz,
above.
Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. A couple extra credits are better than Top Gun Maverick, but
But not-
every
you
movie
can't
that
take
has
it with
won
you.
so far doesn't reach the goodness of Top Gun Maverick.
But it can't take it with you. It can't take it with you. Not better than Top Gun Maverick.
No, you can't take.
Because I don't remember voting on that. Y'all did that without me. I do not remember building this list. And,
Top Gun Maverick better than every movie to win Best Picture.
Oh, okay. Well,
all right.
I guess legally that's true at this point.
Okay, let's do our Best Picture ranking now.
Best Picture rankings.
I'll start the voting at above Rebecca.
I do not agree with that.
I do not think this is better than Grand Hotel.
Without me, fuckers. Without me.
Don't.
You can. I mean,
I
you
think it's
love-
better than Emile Zola.
Were any of these split votes so far?
Well, it's the movie.
All right,
What
so
is
let's,
the average
let's
rating?
do this easier. Let's start the bidding at who thinks this is better than The Life of Emile Zola. Raise your hand.
Cool.
All right, who thinks this is better than Gone with the Wind? Raise your hand.
Really? Wow. Okay. The house is divided.
Well, that's it. And the house. That's where it is.
That's the second half of Gone with the Wind and the first half of this movie are on equal footing.
Wow.
I
disagree with
majority-
that. I think
can't.
I'll say this
disagree
for me
entirely.
personally. Mrs. Miniver would be just below All Quiet on the Western Front for me right now.
For me, this is exactly where I have Mrs. Miniver in my personal rankings at 8.
It's
I have
my
it
favorite.
as well. Yeah.
Fascinating. Y'all are doing rankings for this? That's crazy. Cool. What did the average end up at, by the way?
3.5.
Yeah.
3.5.
Too high.
Why don't you chill the fuck out?
No.
Hang on, I have a text message. What is it? Oh no, I'm not reading that on the air. So now we're cool. What's left? Is it the thing? Are we doing the thing?
Let's
Jack
do
gonna press
extra
the
credit.
Yeah. You're never ready. Jack,
Well, I guess we haven't really talked about our like actual thoughts about the movie. We just kind of went through all this.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's kind of anchored by the two wives. There are some parts of it that I don't care about. It's kind of preachy about like how the rich should treat the poor. Give them a win every now and then, Richies. But I think that kind of contradicts with our attitude on this show, which is eat the rich. I don't know if eating the rich. There's some solid performances in it though. I think that the story is kind of propaganda-ish, which is kind of the point. Like I get it. Got to get involved in the war
this
for
is before America entered the war, so it makes sense.
Yeah, raise the awareness, all that. That's my 3.5. It's fine. I like the two performances that I already talked about. The dudes are really boring. And besides one of them falling in love and one of them like really being passionately into slapping his wife on the ass, I don't really care about them all that much. When they're in danger, I'm like, come on, baby. But I was kind of sad when the thing happened to Carol. I was kind of sad. I was a little sad.
Yeah. All right, Matthew, give us your review, your brief little review.
Yeah, no, I think it takes a little while to get going, but second half is much better when you're more connected with the characters. I think Greer Garson is great, but I think Teresa Wright gives a stronger performance. The romance between Carol and Vin is one of the more stronger elements. I think there are some very harrowing moments, especially with the bombings and like all the war elements. I think they're really strong and effective. Even though some parts of the story feel out of place, I think the Rose competition maybe drags the story a little bit, but overall, I think it is a good movie.
That's fair. We'll go to me next. I put it at 4 stars. I really like the first half of the movie. While I don't love it, it is a little slow. It does get me invested in these characters. For the most part, I didn't really care that much about I can't remember his name right now. The old man who had the flower. I didn't really care too much about his character or the mother of Teresa Wright's character, but other than that, I thought the core family were all really good characters, really good performances from everyone involved, and especially Greer Garson and Teresa Wright, who I think are great. Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress wins. Yeah, I really like Weiler's direction, though I don't know if I give him the win this year. I just really enjoyed this movie, and and we brought the scene up a couple times with the Nazi. That's a good scene, but I really like the scene with the shelling and when their house gets bombed and they're in the bunker in their backyard. I think that scene is great. One of the best scenes in the movie, absolutely, for me. So yeah, that's my little review. Let's go to Spence.
Yeah, it's fine. I have basically no opinions on it. The first half is pretty slow and boring. Second half is decent. Yeah, other than the performances, I really don't care about this fucking movie. It might be my best picture winner this year. It depends on if I like Bambi more on rewatch, and that's literally it.
And Coho.
I like it. I think on the whole, it's anchored by a couple really good performances. I really like Vin. I like Carol a lot. I think she's the best, obviously, and Greer Garson. I think that it's, like Matthew said, it takes a little bit to get going, but on the whole, I think once it gets going, it's really, really engaging cinema. I think there's a lot of incredible moments. This is like on the border of a 3.5 and a 3. It probably should be a 3, but I really took stock in Garson and Wright's performances enough to give it the extra half star. So yeah, I absolutely think that Mrs. Miniver is it's a good movie. I can't wait till we get so far the 40s have been a bit disappointing, though. I think we can say.
Look,
for me anyway. I think right now 3 movies have won in a row that didn't deserve to win Best Picture. I'll say that.
But don't worry, there's another one coming.
There's a great 1922 movie that was not nominated for Best Picture.
What are we talking about?
Called I Married a Witch.
It's true.
Oh.
Fuck, that was this week.
That was this week.
thought that was 44.
Shit.
I'm not gonna.
It was this week. It's all right. Don't worry. I'll make y'all watch it eventually. It's just we had matches and stuff we were prepping for. Don't worry. Don't worry. This side, not this side. This side.
Yeah.
I'll get y'all next time. This side though. That's great.
I've seen
Anyway.
What?
Anyway,
Cool.
that's what we
It's in my
thought about
Letterboxd
Miniver.
top 5. You should have seen it by now. I haven't seen yours, but you should have.
Anyway,
Jack, do the thing.
Extra credit.
Yeah.
I was ready that time.
Who saw a movie this week
I watched 2 movies.
I watched 2, I believe.
without me?
I'm guessing you 2 watched the Powell and Pressburger one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. I watched the movie where Babe Ruth plays himself, and it's the biggest gotcha in cinema history. I watched The Pride of the Yankees. And when I say it's the biggest gotcha ever, the director of The Pride of the Yankees went, hey, we're going to put all the Yankees in it, where Gary Cooper's going to play Lou Gehrig. And it's actually a good movie. I actually really enjoyed it. It's a good sports biopic. Gary Cooper's a little weird, but I'm guessing Lou Gehrig was a little weird. The biggest gotcha ever is they were like, "Hey, Babe Ruth, come be Babe Ruth," and he's like, "I'll come be Babe Ruth. Yeah, obviously." And what they didn't tell him is that Babe Ruth is an asshole. So he thinks he's being charming and fun and all. Babe Ruth is the bad guy in this movie in a lot of ways, just by being Babe Ruth. It's the biggest Borat before Borat ever. I love it. Babe Ruth, kind of a dick. That's me being a little hyperbolic with it, but like Babe Ruth, I didn't know what Babe Ruth looked like or sounded like. Babe Ruth to me is just like a mythical figure, and then he's in this movie as a living, breathing person. And you're like, the fuck? It's a weird moment to be like, oh, that's who this mythical figure is like. But no, it was good. I enjoyed it. Bring me the list. Show me the list. I would put it. You gotta go up. It's not going down here. It's like a 4-star movie. You gotta keep going up. I would say I would put it below the Philadelphia Story at 19.
Cool.
That's where I'd put it personally.
I'm fine with that. Anyone else?
Citizen Kane should be above it.
Nope.
No, I haven't seen it, so I'm cool with it.
I haven't seen it.
Cool. I control it. It's going 19 below the Philadelphia Story. And then you guys talk about 49th Parallel because I didn't watch that one.
All right,
Jack, you want to
Matthew,
start?
you can start.
Yeah, 49th Parallel. It's a great movie. I think it's very interesting how it takes place. It's from the point of view of the Nazis. And they basically land in Canada. They're basically stranded there trying to get to the US. And we just see the Nazis get picked off one by one. And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, honestly, this would top Killing Nazis if this had won Best Picture. It's got some great performances, especially from Laurence Olivier, who does a perfect French-Canadian accent. I should know. I've met several. I'll tell you this much. Best supporting actor for just like one scene, Laurence Olivier should have been there. He is fucking great in this movie. And yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about it, honestly. I mean, there are a couple eye-rolly moments, especially like on the train in the last few minutes. But honestly, great time. And there's a monologue in this movie that I think is better than the monologue in the church at the end of Mrs. Miniver. I will
really good
stand by it. I will stand by it. That monologue is incredible. This is one of my favorite movies we've watched for Picture This. I think in my personal rankings, this is my third favorite movie we watched for the show. To be fair, I still haven't seen Philadelphia Story. I haven't seen a couple big ones, but I dug this movie. It is great. Yeah. First Powell and Pressburger film, so I'm happy about that. It's a great movie.
Well, this one's just solo directed by Michael Powell.
Yeah, but I think Pressburger did the screenplay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So Matthew, where do you think this should go? Because I'm quite near.
I definitely have it lower. I think it does take a little while to start off, but I like the performance by Olivier. There are some really fun side characters too.
Okay. Oh right. The screen isn't up. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Where do you want it?
Scroll down.
Oh.
I think above A Star Is Born. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to pitch above Sunrise. I would go higher, but but I think we could compromise with above Sunrise.
Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
I can compromise
Awesome.
there.
That is now our 15. Who watched movies now? For
All
this?
right, so there's one that the three of us watched. Alex, what did you watch?
No, where was I for all this bullshit?
I don't know. Well, I didn't watch it with them. They watched it together, and then I watched it.
I watched it separate. We watched it separately.
Oh, we all watched it separate. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we watched it together. Me and Matt.
We watched it together
separate from us.
49
Okay.
Parallel we watched separately.
I don't want to go on to this segment till I know Andrew Barr is in the chat. I need to know
He
Barr.
is
Send a
here.
comment if you
Bar
are here.
is here.
We're sure he is.
I got a message. You also got a message from him. He says, "I'm still watching. He's in here."
Okay. As long as he's still here.
Bar, stop watching us in bed. What are you?
Barr wants to get in bed with us, guys. I will let Jack and Matthew start.
All right, Matthew, you've got the lowest rating for this. Kick us off.
Yeah, I was honestly, I it just was kind of dull and boring throughout most of it. It starts us off and immediately brings up the blackface, so already a rough start. But I'm usually I'm pretty good about like understanding something is a product of its time, right? It was released in 1942, so I understand that. But I do think the rest of the movie is just very dull. I don't think any of the musical numbers are really interesting. They all sound the same, and they're just very repetitive. And I think it was also just I didn't think the narrative was very compelling to pull us in. And I think the most positive thing I can say about it for me is James Cagney's performance. And I think Michael Curtiz also brings some really interesting camera, like directional flair. There's some really beautiful shots and like camera work. So.
Yeah. I'll go next because I've got it a little higher than you. I've got it 1.5 stars. And we haven't actually said what the movie is, but y'all can probably guess. It's Yankee Doodle Dandy. Yeah, honestly, the only positive I have for this movie is Cagney's performance, and that's saying something because I fucking hate this character. I do not like him in the slightest. But Cagney is just so good in this. He's got some great dance numbers and some just great scenes in general. But like, I don't care about this guy. I went to this movie. I saw Cody gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, and I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. And I really love James Cagney in 1, 2, 3. So I was like really excited. Michael Curtiz directed Casablanca, which is in my top 100. So I went into this really excited because I'm like, it can't be as bad as everyone says it is. I'm sure it's good. And then I was fighting off sleep the entire time. It is dull. I like a lot of slow movies, but this was something else, my friend. It didn't hook me. I did not care about anyone in this movie. I don't care. This movie is fine. I get it's not. It's not. It's bad. I actively dislike this movie. I think the music is fine. I think Curtiz has some good shots in this, and Cagney's performance is good. But other than that, I've got nothing nice to say about the movie.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Andrew James Barr. I liked it. I actually really liked Yankee Doodle Dandy. I did not have high expectations, high hopes of any kind. And I came into this and it started and I was like, ooh, okay, this is not starting great. But like the Great Ziegfeld did it so bad that they learned from it and made it so much better. So much better. They did the Great Ziegfeld as a good movie. This is the Great Ziegfeld, but good. Like James Cagney, I think, is actually really solid. I wouldn't go so far as to put him in the 20 best performances of all time, but what he does is actually a very impressive physical performance. Very physical dancing, a good singer, a good actor. I think what this movie does very well is show how much of a genius George M. Cohan is as a creator, as a songwriter. How like all of his songs are good. Like every song he writes is a good song. And it's like, wow, okay. And like how influential his work is today on musical theater from then, and like the vaudevilleness of it. All right, sorry, I thought it was 20. The vaudevilleness of it. I think that the movie does a really good job of capturing who this person is. I don't necessarily think he's a great person, but I don't think he's a like shit fire here. Like the movie doesn't give me any reason to think he's a shit fire piece of trash character that you guys are making him out to be. Like I think that he's ambitious, and ambitious characters are usually ones that end up doing something shitty, and then they have to like redeem themselves from it. He doesn't do anything I think incredibly shitty in the movie. He could have done really shitty things in real life, and the movie just doesn't cover it. But I thought this was actually a pretty entertaining story. I think Walter Houston is freaking amazing as his dad. Like, that's a great supporting actor nomination. He is great. I would not call this a musical by any means. It's not a musical. Don't really know why it is called one. Every musical number in it is a staged musical number within the movie as being a musical number in a musical, or an audition. So not sure how this was a musical whatsoever. But on the whole, I'm going to say some really shocking shit. This should have won Best Picture. I think this is the best movie I watched for this year. It's better than Mrs. Miniver. It's better than Pride of the Yankees. It's the best movie I watched this year. I think Michael Curtiz is Best Director. The directing he does here is really, really good. Like, actually really good directing. Because and here's the thing. I'm just as fucking shocked as all of you. I thought this was going to be terrible. Caleb Boatman told me this movie was going to be terrible. Cody said this movie's not good. Everyone told me this movie's not good. And yet, I had a blast. I think James Cagney is a good Best Actor win. He is the deserving Best Actor win between him and Gary Cooper. I think that, and Walter Pidgeon, between him and Henry Travers, I go Walter Houston for supporting actor. I have not seen Van Heflin and Johnny Eager. Can't say. So based on the two performances that were nominated, I probably would have given both of them Oscars. I think this should have won Best Director. I think this should have won Best Picture. I think it's the best of the three movies I watched. I think that the movie gives me a lot of good story. I think this is a good story. It's a good biopic. Bar, good job. Good job,
wait.
Bar. I just want to say, yeah, there's like two scenes where there's like blackface in it, and I was like, ooh, bad. But like, unlike Great Ziegfeld's like blackface. And Gone with the Wind is like racism. This would be very high on on $1 Million Racism. However, I don't think that those two instances in the movie destroy, like, the 5 minutes are like black marks on a movie that is at like an hour and 45 minutes else of, I think, really solid quality entertainment. I liked Yankee Doodle Dandy way more than I thought I would. So good job, Bar. You know what, Bar? You're on the right side. You're on the right side of history.
Coho, is it better than Citizen Kane?
Yes.
No, fuck you. You don't get to dance to this. Go fuck.
All right.
George M. Cohen and Alexander Hamilton have like similar characteristics as characters. So that's probably why I was a little interested in Yankee Doodle.
Okay, so Matthew, I think we put this at 47. What do you think?
So that's not true, because this is definitely better than In Old Arizona, Our Town, A Farewell to Arms, and The Champ. This is better than all those at the bottom.
I disagree. I would put it at 47. Yeah.
Oh,
for someone who has seen In Old Arizona,
here's the reason why I say no. In Old Arizona is blackface for the entire runtime. It's like white people in other race makeup for the whole runtime, including the main actor. So, just saying, technically speaking, if you were going to go for racism, this is less racist than In Old Arizona. Just
show of hands.
I am fine with putting it below the Informer, but I don't know if I can, in good conscience, put it higher.
The Informer is great. I'll
live with that. I can live with that.
But
seeing as I'm with two people who are like, "Oh, this movie's trash," I'll take it as long as it's
put it at the bottom. It'd be really fucking funny.
They can't, because I'm
we have to move it up for co-host's sake. So.
Yeah, they literally cannot, because I will not put it below In Old Arizona, and I'm the only one. C-Bar, I would put it above Our Town.
Sorry, Bar.
I can't get it above
the Informer. Like the Informer though. Like Informer, I had a good time with. So
sure. I'm sorry, Bar. I can't. I want to put it above Our Town, but I can't, because they won't let me put it above the Informer.
if you move our town lower,
I'll do that. Let's do that
'Cause
right now. I'll move
I
our
haven't
town
seen
down
it.
a spot and Yankee Doodle Dandy above our town. I'll do that right now.
No. This opened the fucking floodgate. We should, after the list is locked in, you cannot change anything that was not brought up that week.
Hey, has
Why?
anyone else seen our town, or is it just me?
Why?
yeah, I think
No.
we should
This
have-
opened.
Our
this
town
was
is
chaos.
just me.
No.
This
This is
our
just
town. I'm okay with that because I
chaos.
haven't seen our town.
Adelaide
if you-
Spence
oh.
has been replaced by Andrew James Barr. Andrew James Barr, what would
No,
you like?
Can we keep that?
Genuinely,
That's like a
we should
great
not be
shot of bar.
changing previous week's rankings.
We've done it
Well, after
before.
that 1 week, it
We
is
have
absolutely
already
done
done
it.
this.
We've
What?
absolutely
We've
done that.
already done it.
We've already done that. We've absolutely already done that.
You have done this yourself, you fucking hypocrite.
I don't think I have.
Yes, you
want
have.
to do
You did it
things.
2 weeks ago.
I don't remember this.
You're a fucking hypocrite. Shut the fuck up. We are moving our town below the Informer and Yankee Doodle Dandy above our town.
Yeah,
As the
that
only
I'm
person
okay
who has
with.
seen our town, I think I'm fine doing that.
I'm a bigger fan of Four Town, to be perfectly honest. All right, great. Hit save on that.
There, we can lock that. That's fine.
Bar. I don't know what just happened. Cool.
That's all right, Bar. We'll be on the right side of history together. Doc's on our side also, just to be clear.
Chelsea. I mean, y'all
Yeah.
haven't.
Doc gave it
most
4
of y'all haven't
stars as
seen it,
well.
but earlier today, Doc was wearing glasses. It was hot. All right.
Doc's
Hit the
glasses was hot.
song. Yeah.
Extra credit.
Woot. All right. It's probably it. We're out of arguments to have.
Well,
I think. Are we?
for 1942, what I would actually give Best Picture to is To Be or
Okay.
Not to Be. Not nominated, but it's a great movie.
I give it to I Married a Witch
That
personally.
is the question.
So, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming out to picture this. I know that we're a lot. Specifically, no, this side, just this. Just
Everyone
this
not
little-
named Matthew.
Everyone not named Matthew or me. I'm doing a really good job hosting this show. It's you all that are the problem. We know that we're a lot, and I know that we don't agree on anything unless we agree on it, and then we hate each other for it either way. But next week we have an episode. What's coming up down the? What's on the playbill next?
It's time, folks. It's time.
Is it?
It's time. I get to rectify the biggest blind spot in my entire movie watching experience. I'm finally watching Casablanca. I'm doing it.
We're going to the place where that one John Wick sequel was filmed, Casablanca. Which should be exciting, probably. Unless we
What's
hate it.
the-
Can you imagine?
Does anyone have
Unfortunately.
any extra credits they are watching? Because I will say the only one right now that I plan to watch is the Oxbow incident.
I probably
let
will
me
watch
get
extra credit for a few weeks. If yeah,
I will be at Comic-Con next week.
So Matthew gets an exemption from extra credit because the man is literally our spy on the inside getting information from Hall H. Like, he's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Personally-
You're gonna have to watch all the movies that he would have.
Yeah, exactly.
wait. So is Matthew our Hercules Mulligan?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna watch For Whom the Bell Tolls because that was the movie that Ingrid Bergman got a Best Actress nomination for, not Casablanca.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not watching that because it's a war movie and I'm tired of war movies.
Well,
Yeah.
you get one anyway.
Yeah.
So Casablanca's a war movie.
Well, I've heard it's not necessarily about the war as much as you think.
It's as much of a war film as it is a romance film.
That's
Great. Then after that, we get to watch a movie, and then instead of that movie, on top of that movie, we get to watch Double Indemnity, which should be fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
watching every movie nominated for Best Picture that year that is not Since You Went Away. I'm watching Gaslight for the first time, Wilson
Yes.
for the first time, and I will be rewatching in a very long overdue rewatch Double Indemnity with Going My Way, which I'm actually excited for because I like Bing Crosby.
It's my third favorite Warzone team, and I'm not going to tell you who the top two are. And then
Probably
after
Here We
that,
Go Again is probably number 1 for some reason.
who?
There you go.
Who?
And then here we go, folks. This is a movie that's gonna probably be at the top of my personal ranking for quite a while after this. It's The Lost Weekend from 1945.
I am excited for and dreading The Lost Weekend.
I'm hoping it's really bad.
I'm excited because it's Wilder.
I mean, I'm excited because it's Wilder, and Wilder literally has not missed. But the thing that freaks me out about it is that Jack endorses it really highly, and the last time he really highly endorsed a Best Picture winner, he is 0 for 2. He was like Gone with the Wind and How Green Was My Valley and Rebecca. No, he's 0 for 3.
I was Rebecca.
He's 0 for 3. No, he's 0 for 3. Gone with the Wind, Rebecca, and How Green Was My Valley. He's like, these are 3 of the best movies ever made. And then all of them missed.
Not at all accurate.
All of them missed. I
Okay.
do not trust you anymore, Jack. You
We're
have lost
on a-
Best Picture recommendation privileges.
What I'm saying is that we're on a collision course for some really interesting movies, and Goho versus Jack 19 should be really interesting.
We get to watch the movie
Anyway,
that beat It's a
that's
Wonderful
the
Life.
end of the show. And so from everyone here at Picture This, always remember, goodbye, Jennifer, be a bad girl. Bye.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.
No, but
Putting this on
seriously,
here before we
Doc in
finish.
those glasses, though. Y'all should have
Remember.
seen it. He was also wearing a hat. It was
That's
so
sexy.
cool.